Turning to Thursday's Metro now. Putin is not a fan of the blame game, Nick.
Yeah, Russia reacts with usual petulance to being blamed for Nord Stream pipe blast, Metro says. But this is fascinating. So, obviously, there was the leak in the Nord Stream 2, and it was in 3 separate places, so everyone says this is sabotage. Now, the big question is, who did it? So, of course, Russia are going to be blamed, and I'm not going to take a side at the moment. I'm just going to objectively lay it out for you and say that, and there's the picture of it there. So, the question is, who did it?
Somebody should drop a Zippo on that.
Some people say that it's obviously Russia, and they say they've done this in the past. For example, they had £8.4 million of gas a day that they were just burning off.
I remember this, but they said this was just nothing to do with them. And
they did that rather than export
wear and tear.
Yeah, and then there's the idea that actually they're just proving that they could blow up the new Baltic pipe if they wanted. There's this new Baltic pipe, Norway to Poland. They're saying we can blow up pipes, by the way. That's that theory. Then there's a theory that people like Tucker Carlson have shared on Fox News, where he's saying, is this the US? Because Biden said, we have ways of doing this. He said, if Russia invades, we will make sure Nord Stream 2 doesn't happen. And Victoria Nuland, I think she's called, part of his administration, said the same thing very clearly. And then the journalist said, well, how will you do that? And Biden was basically like, we have ways, wink. So, and also this guy, Radek Sikorsky, said, thank you, USA. He's very close to Biden. He tweeted, thank you, USA. That's the case for the US, or part of it. Then people say, well, could Poland have done it? Because they've got various motivations. Then there's the idea that, did Ukraine do it? Because if you look at Ukraine, they don't want their pipeline to be replaced. They lose billions if that happens. Also, obviously, they're at war with Russia already, and so it's sort of, all bets are off. And also, they also have been given underwater drones by the US, so they could actually do it. And of course, they don't want Germany to sort of call off the war. They don't want to, start negotiating with Russia. So this stops Russia having this negotiating tool. So it's very complicated who did it. And of course, the standard thing is to say, obviously, Russia. But it could be Ukraine with a bit of US helping them out or something like that. I don't know.
Leo, what do you think? Reverend Green in the study?
Well, I actually think it was Leo because he wants to advance his fracking agenda. He just wants to get rid of all the pipelines.
Surely the obvious solution is Occam's razor and everything. It's Russia.
Yeah,
flexing.
But then again, I mean, a defining feature of this war is that trade has continued between all the countries involved in it throughout the war. So, Russia's still sending gas to Ukraine, Ukrainian homes and factories. Ukraine is still paying for that gas. Russia's still sending gas to Europe, and there's still lots of other pipelines. So,
but let's say it was Russia,
and the 2 Nord Stream pipelines were not. One of them wasn't operational.
Anyway.
And the one that's been blown up was at lower capacity. So it's not like it's a huge,
But what's the benefit to Russia if it is Russia? What's the benefit?
Well, that's the question. And there doesn't seem to be an obvious benefit, which is why when you say Occam's razor is that it's Biden because he said he'd do it. You see what I mean? So Occam's Biden. Occam's razor would say that it's not Russia because what is their motivation other than threatening to blow up this Baltic pipe is one explanation.
I don't think Biden meant I'm going to blow it up.
No, probably not. He probably meant I'm going to talk to Ukraine and they'll do it.
Right? Yeah. Well,